Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in this GMT analysis session wherein we go over indexes, US market indexes and Canadian market indexes. Based on the technical indicators, we analyze what to expect in the coming week. We also go over some of the stocks that are requested by members who are on the call or would have already filled in the Google Sheet that we share with our GMT members. If you have any specific stock request that you are already on trade or you are planning to take the trade, we would be happy to take your request and do the analysis for the specific stock or index. So let's start with the TSX index analysis. We are looking at the daily chart of TSX, and based on the last candle that it has formed, it's almost gravestone doji with a small wick. On Thursday, it had formed a candle which we were expecting that it could take support at the mid Bollinger Band and move up. However, the last session, based on the gravestone doji, it indicates weakness. So this reversal on Thursday is not strong based on the last candle, although the indicators on daily chart for Williams R and CCI have turned up. But if you look at MACD, although the histograms are decreasing, the signal and the signal line is still downward. If we look at the weekly chart, as we had discussed last week, because it was touching the upper Bollinger Band and was in overbought region, so we had expected some correction, which did happen. And when we will look at the US market indexes as well, we were expecting some correction, which has taken place last week. But based on the current range of 21875, which is still above the previous resistance, which it broke at around 21,850. However, a further correction below this 10 EMA could be expected this coming week, since the indicators are still in overbought region. So if you are someone who has not booked your profit, it would still be good to hold your position with stop loss or book your profit and wait for some more correction and then re-enter, especially for the stocks that are listed only on TSX. If you're trading in US market and the stocks are dual listed, the analysis on NDX or if it is on NYSE would be beneficial. So you can take your position based on, or hold your position based on both the indexes analysis. So having said that, let's move on to NDX 100, which is for NASDAQ 100 stocks. And we are on weekly chart. Last week, we had mentioned that we were expecting some correction and we are hoping the index, especially this NDX, to touch up to mid Bollinger Band, which it did. And we're watching it to see if it takes support at the mid Bollinger Band. And similar to what we saw on TSX, on Thursday, it did look that it could take support at mid Bollinger Band and could get pulled up. However, that didn't happen looking at the last session on Friday. The market has pulled down further. It almost gave a small gap down and gave a lower closing, which indicates that even on Monday, we can still expect some more selling to happen. and correction to go down further. The super trend is at 14,189. So about 140 points drop in NDX at least, and this support could be further down. Both Williams RCCI and including MACD are downward. So expecting some more selling to happen in at least at the start of the week is apparent from what we see on the daily chart. If you look at the weekly chart, it faced resistance at the mid Bollinger Band and has formed almost bearish engulfing candle and is currently at the weekly. Actually, it has dropped further down from this level, which could have been support, but it didn't hold and it has dropped down further. So the next support, which we could look on as per the weekly chart, could be close to 14,000, 13,890 or 3,900, 14,000. Hopefully the correction is not big. If the sell volume is higher, the next support could be EMA 100, which is 13,300, which is almost 1,000 points. And we can hope that it doesn't drop, but yes, even on daily chart, the lower Bollinger Band is at 13,400. So almost 900 points. If it drops, then it would be a strong correction, and buying closer to lower Bollinger Band would be very good buy for most of the stocks which are listed under NASDAQ 100 if you are planning to take long positions for holding for medium to long term as well. If you look similarly on IXIC index, which is an index following all the stocks that are listed on NASDAQ, similar to NDX, pattern is similar. It's just that NDX is an index for top 100 stocks on NASDAQ. IXIC tracks all the stocks that are listed on NASDAQ. Trend is exactly the same, at least looking on the daily chart. Indicators are downward. If you look on weekly chart as well, this big red candle which has engulfed the last week's gravestone candle. So in the coming week, expecting some more drop is apparent on IXIC.
1,200, 12,500.
Sorry?
Around 12,500 level.
12,500, yes, would be a strong correction because we are looking on the weekly chart. So it may not be within 1 week, but if it happens, it might take about 2 to 3 weeks to reach 12,500. But that would mean it would be a strong correction as it is about.
I'm checking daily, and even daily the lower Bollinger Band is close to that level.
Yeah, 13, almost 1,300, 12,927.
If it goes to 12,500, I think it can form a double bottom pattern on a weekly chart, and there could be a good reversal after that.
Right. So for this week, let's see if it takes support at 13,600, which super trend is indicating. If it doesn't hold, and this is just for watching, don't enter any of the positions. See if it takes support at super trend level of 13,600 and holds and starts reversal. It's okay to not enter until reversal confirmation is clear. We don't want to enter and see that it drops further close to 1,300. And also 1255 would be little bigger correction, which would be along with the sell volume, in which case we should be seeing bigger red candles on the volume. Let me add volume indicator as well. Yeah, so now we have volumes almost consistent around 737 million. So if the volume is red and is more than the average, then we could expect that 1300 could easily touch 13,000. Yes, Vivek, you want to add anything?
No, nothing from my side.
That's great. So let me just okay, and we are looking on weekly chart also. EMA 100 is 13,100 and lower Bollinger Band on daily chart is 12,927. So it's almost close. So around these levels, if the correction in this week and spills over to next week, we could expect these levels to take support at. Any questions so far from anyone? Especially Utkarsh, Shirish, Mayuresh.
No questions. Thanks.
Okay. So for those who are trading on QQQ, which follows NDX, which is NASDAQ 100, you would find almost similar pattern. The indicators are downward, although CCI is close to minus 120. Williams R is minus 97. So if it takes support around 340, these indicators could be in over sold region where this range could act as support. Let's see on the weekly chart. 340 is this range, wherein 4 weeks it has already taken support at 340. So which could act as support, although the EMAs are further down. EMA 100 and lower Bollinger Band is at 323. So again, as we discussed for NDX, QQQ also would follow almost the same, and we should see the sell volume higher if the correction goes down further. But for those who are already holding index like TQQ, which follows QQQ, if you are in small loss, you could book loss and wait for it to correct and then re-enter, because averaging down at this point could increase the losses. However, if you have entered for few weeks or more than couple of weeks position, then you could still hold, knowing that once the market reverses, it is going to easily touch the mid Bollinger Band level. Mid Bollinger Band is at 54.4. So if you bought around mid Bollinger Band level, you can keep your sell target at few cents or couple of dollars above your buy price, so that if it gives a spike, your position gets closed at some small profit instead of loss. However, if you are long on position and you have taken the position for more than 2 weeks, it's still good to hold, as after correction you might get chance to book some small profit. So the EMA 10 is at 55.65 and EMA 50 is at 56.23. Just if you want to close it in, if it gives some small spike before it falls down further, the EMA 10 could be the target which you could keep just to close your position if it gives a spike and goes down further. However, if you want to be safe, then keep target as well as stop loss set. So in case it doesn't give a spike and it goes down further, you are not losing too much. And then you can re-enter when it is near the lower Bollinger Band at 43, close to 43. 43 or 45 could be the support. 45.10 looks to be a good support, or 43 would also be a very good entry. But averaging down at the current price would not be good time to average down. Holding the position with stop loss would be better, and having target which is very close to the mid Bollinger Band, so that even a small spike could help in closing that position. Waiting for Tuesday or Wednesday to see if, as we saw for QQQ, to see if it takes support around this 48.5 by mid of the week. If it takes support around this price and reverses, then you don't need to worry too much, because if it takes support from 48.2, you would definitely get chance on the daily chart to close your position at small profit, if not break even. Utkarsh, and if Hitesh is there, hope it answers your question. Utkarsh, are you already on TQQ or SQQ?
Not yet. Like I'm just following the nasdaq. Like
Okay, so you are following NDX.
yes.
Okay.
I have some. I bought it at 52 point something for 805.
Right. So 52.805.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about $1. So what I can say is currently it is at 51.47.
So I'm at 2%.
Sorry, Hitesh, I think I got muted. Hitesh, could you unmute and speak again? Sorry, we are not able to hear you. That's okay. Once Hitesh unmutes, then we'll get to hear him. Yeah, so I was saying that this mid Bollinger Band, you can keep that as target and try to close the current position. So you don't.
Normally it gives a spike on Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
And
So,
then it goes down. So hopefully
right.
it gives the spikes on Monday.
Monday or Tuesday. So for that spike, either mid Bollinger Band of 54.44 or EMA 10 of 55.5, you can keep as target and hope that your position closes in some profit. And also maybe you can keep a stop loss as well, just in case it doesn't give you a chance to close that position. So let's see on 4-hour chart. So on 4-hour chart, 49.39. So you can keep a stop loss at 49, which would be about close to $3. But once it reverses around 48, 45, then you can hold for long, and hopefully that loss could be recovered. If you still want to keep it, it's still fine, because after it reverses, since your buy price is lower than mid Bollinger Band, you would get chance to close it at small profit, if not at break even. Okay. And if it gives a spike, then you would be anyways closing in profit in shorter time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Sirish has requested for Tesla, and I think Nitya or someone had also mentioned about Tesla yesterday. Let's see. Should be having Tesla here. Okay. Yeah. We had discussed about Tesla a couple of weeks back as well, when it had given spike, that this gap up, we had mentioned that it should close that gap up, which it has done. Still, there is some downtrend remaining, and as we have seen nasdaq as well, similar to that trend, we can expect it to drop down further. For those who would like to re-enter or enter Tesla, entry point for those who are okay to enter early, mid Bollinger Band level is 996, so $1,000 could be your entry price. A better buy would be around 950, since this EMA 100 is at 945. Although lower Bollinger Band is showing 778, which is way lower, and EMA 200 is at 880. So EMA 200, if the correction extends to next week, you could look at buying at around 880, since EMA 200 in most cases becomes strong support, and we see that about first week of March, it has taken support, it has faced resistance around that level, which could now become support. So around 890 would be, or 885 would be a very good buy for those who are planning to hold for longer terms. If we look on the weekly chart, mid Bollinger Band is at 950, and EMA 10 is also about to cross or about to merge at EMA 20, which is mid Bollinger Band. So 950 as of now looks for sure that it could drop to 950. Although I'm saying that based on indicators, 950 can reach with higher probability, but I highly discourage for taking any short positions, because with market reversals, Tesla moves very fast, both in up and down, both in bullish and bearish market. So if it was at the upper Bollinger Band, close to 1100, 1150, that was good time for those who are interested in taking short positions. Although it trend shows it's downward, but at this point, it's better to wait for it to correct, and near its lower Bollinger Band or at the support levels, taking a long position for Tesla is preferred, because when it starts taking uptrend, it moves much faster. So longer positions on Tesla is less risky.
Kamal, just one question from the Tesla. The things that you say, like a sorting and a selling, right? So when you do a sorting, you cannot do a sorting in a well simple. You can do
No.
sorting in a IBKR, right?
For shorting a stock, you need a margin account, and simple trade doesn't support margin account as well as, so you cannot do sorting at all on IBKR and other platforms which allow you to open a margin account. You can do sorting on that. So
Okay.
what we recommend is, as we would have noticed in the premium chat groups, is that instead of doing sorting, go for SQQ, which
Yeah.
follows NDX.
And
And
NDX.
yeah, if NDX is bullish, TQQ is bullish, and SQQ is bearish. But when NDX and QQQ is bearish, SQQ is bullish. So you notice that it is now on uptrend because NDX and TQQ is bearish, SQQ is moving up.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and for this you don't need margin. It is like taking normal long position. It's just that it is inverse of the market trend, since it is inverse ETF. Okay. Yes, coming back to Tesla. Sirish, do you have any question for Tesla? If not, then we'll go on to Shopify. Shivdas has requested Shopify. Okay. We discussed about Shopify in the class yesterday, and as some of you were in the class also, so Vivek sir had specifically mentioned looking at this big red candle or black candle, whatever candle name you are familiar. So this indicates that still it's gonna fall further down, and lower Bollinger Band level is also support. If you look here at close to 550, and this we are looking sharp on NYSE. So close to 550, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and almost 7 times. So which is a strong support. So if you are looking to enter, let it drop another $50 and wait for it to reverse and then re-enter. It's okay to buy around 575 once it touches 550 and reverses. Because of its downtrend, which has been steep, almost at 45-degree angles since mid of November, we don't wish that it should break this lower Bollinger Band and continue further down. There are too many lines here, but hopefully, let me drag it further up. So with this big red candle, we expect it to drop down further. Hope that it takes support at lower Bollinger Band, but waiting for the confirmation that it takes support is important. And if you are entering at 550, previous low was 510. So a stop at 490 if you are entering at 550. But waiting for confirmation of reversal is important for Shopify, as the weekly chart is looking very, very disappointing. If 291 would be a drop of almost over 50% further, which hopefully it doesn't. But in terms of indicators on weekly chart, Williams R is at minus 90. So once it reaches close to minus 95, 97, see on Williams R whether the Williams R has started reversing and then enter. Since it has dropped by almost 70% from the peak, it's still okay to enter $50 late, but being sure that the reversal has happened. If you are already on Shopify and you can hold, especially if your quantity is bigger, then you can look for holding it for some more time, because Shopify being a large cap stock and one of the favorite stock for those who are investing in Canadian market, recovery, it should recover, and reaching the previous levels of over 2000 would take time. But if your average is somewhere close to 800 or close to 950, you might get chance to close your positions in the timeline of about, if we look at mid Bollinger Band, so it should take few months, but hopefully at least around 980 or 1000, if your average is around that, you could be in green on Shopify, but it could take few months. However, if you are planning to enter, then just wait for it to take support, reverse, and then plan to enter or average down. Shivdas, are you already on it or you are planning to enter?
Planning to enter.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if you're
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no problem. If you are planning to enter, then it's better to wait for it and let it reverse and then re-enter.
Just one question on that. Sorry, I just got into this meeting a little late, but I'm just keen to look at the charts because I'm trying to get familiarized with these charts. So what kind of charts are, because I normally see 1 day, 5 day, 6 months, 1 month. So which chart are you using, if I may ask you?
Sure. So this what you are looking now is,
Yeah.
I'm on a 1 day chart. Okay.
1 day, okay.
When I change to this is 1 week chart. And the reason why in this call we are keeping our analysis on 1 day and 1 week chart is with precursor that most of the members who join this call are taking either swing trades or positional trades, swing trades for a couple of weeks and positional trades for months, few
Okay.
months to over around 6 months or more.
Sorry, I'm a little new to this technical analysis. That's the reason I joined today. You're showing all that EMA, all that way down. It is just the exponential moving average, right? But not the simple moving average you're looking at normally to read the charts?
So this exponential moving average is a modified SMA. SMAs are simple moving average. Those are with the data which is of the entire historical movement of the stock. EMAs give more weightage on the recent data.
Okay.
Both are moving averages. That's why the MA is for moving average. In exponential moving average, which is EMA, it gives higher weightage on the recent data, so is more accurate in that terms when you are trading. However, major general community uses SMA. You can choose whichever either of these you are comfortable. It need not be that you need to use SMA or EMA. Whatever works based on your trading style. If you are taking shorter trades, which was my next point, that if you are taking short-term trades, then you would be doing your analysis based on 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart. For those who are day trading, their analysis is based on 1 hour, 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute charts. They take entry based on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So based on
So
your
just to
trading
clarify,
style.
sorry, just to clarify, sorry to interrupt. This SMA, normally you will look at the charts which are like 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, and max, right?
Yes, for
Okay.
those who are investing, those who are taking positional trades, for them SMA works because they are planning to enter or planning to invest on that instrument, on that stock for longer term. So historical trend doesn't change much whether they take their positions based on SMA or EMA.
Okay.
For those who are taking shorter term trades, for them EMA and SMA gives slight difference in the price action. Based on that, their entry and exits could be more accurate for those who are taking quick trades.
Kamal, I would like to add to this.
Yeah.
When you have large value stocks or large value like Tesla or even higher than that, more than $1,000, $2,000, there you will find difference between the SMA and EMA. I mean the values for the SMA and EMA. But when you have some smaller value stocks, like which are $1 stock or $10 stock, the difference between the SMA and EMA is not huge. So either one that is you're comfortable with, you can choose. The analysis will remain the same. Just that your EMA will react to the market change little bit more faster as compared to the SMA.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So thanks, Vivek, for adding that.
Yeah, thanks, Kamal. Thank you.
Welcome. So we will take one more last request for the day.
Can you look at SGBX?
Yes, yes. I think you had requested before as well. Let me just move this.
I sent a BX.
BX.
I think
This one,
this,
right? Yeah.
the stock has a market value of 27 million, and they are selling a property of 15 million. That was,
yes, its market cap is 29.85 million, right?
yeah. I think the group and sent news they're selling a property worth 15 million.
Right. I think you had shared somewhere here the day after it had spiked.
Yeah.
Right. So the news already has had impact on its price. As if we look at longer term trend on weekly chart, it is currently at upper Bollinger Band, and EMA 50 is at $3. So the spike gave a high of 2.65. So if you have not entered, then currently it is in overbought region, as you can see.
Correct.
Based on the technicals. Although based on its previous trend, it had made a high of 8.7 in 2021, which is almost about 8 to 9 months back.
Yeah.
So before it goes above this range of $3, it could give a correction first so that the indicators cool down. So if you are watching this, I would suggest to wait for its correction. Probably a small correction to buy around $2, which is the mid Bollinger Band on daily chart.
Okay.
When the Williams RCCI on daily chart comes either towards mid, or if it comes under oversold region, that is even better.
Okay.
To enter, and then you can hold for higher targets.
Kamal, they have earning coming on 14th April.
Okay, so if their earnings is coming on 14th April and based on its 2 weeks trend, it has gone above, almost above the mid Bollinger Band. Then probably one or two more sessions and it could touch $3 either before earnings, or if it touches before earnings, then we could see the correction after earnings.
Okay.
If it doesn't touch the before earnings, it could touch after earnings release. Earnings release does not matter whether it is positive or negative. If it has reached the oversold region before earnings, after earnings, even if it is positive, it could drop.
Okay.
Okay. So I would still suggest that wait for it to drop and buy near the mid Bollinger Band once the indicators are in either oversold region or close to oversold region, irrespective of the earnings.
Okay.
Okay, so we are at 12:48. So anything else? Any last question? Let's take. Someone had requested for Facebook. We will take 10 more minutes. We'll extend the session till 12 and then we will switch on to orientation. We had discussed about Facebook. There is noise. I think Umair had requested or asked about Facebook. So for those who are tracking Facebook, Facebook is now close to mid Bollinger Band.
I'm so sorry, Kamal, to interrupt you. Actually, today my internet looks pretty much unstable. So will it be possible for you to just share the video? I don't know,
Sure. So this session we are streaming on YouTube. Once the session, you can watch the recording on YouTube. I'll also share the link once we are done with this session. I'll share the recording in our GMT groups. You can.
Yeah, because I'm not able to follow up because it's breaking too much.
No worries. You can watch on GMT channel.
Yeah, if it works well, I will join back.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking. No problem. Yeah, I was talking about Facebook. Facebook, it is also following the market trend, and although the correction is not as we have seen on the index itself, it's forming dojis. It's currently at mid Bollinger Band 217 and previous entry at those who have entered at around 190 based on our previous analysis. You could still hold your positions if you have entered for medium to long term. And for those who would like to re-enter, there's a strong support close to 208, or actually at 210 could be good entry if the market starts reversing. 202 and on the daily chart, yes, around 210 is a support wherein you could enter with small quantity and see if the market trend reverses. If the market trend doesn't reverse, then wait for the reversal and then increase your position or enter at that time. At the mid Bollinger Band level of 217, although it looks it could take support, but based on what we saw on indexes, it might fall down further from mid Bollinger Band as well. So a buy around 217 at this point doesn't look attractive, since it has a stronger support around 210, or if it drops, then buying again close to 200 would be a very good entry for those who are entering for medium to long term as well. Vivek, are you already on Facebook?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. I remember even Vivek Krishna is following Facebook.
Yeah, I am following it. But I was in India, so I was not able to like buy more. Like I didn't had access to the stocks, like my account.
So whatever we discussed for the stocks, those who are trading options, especially for Utkarsh and I think Namita, those who are trading options, the analysis what we have done for stocks, you could follow the similar trend even if you are taking options. Just make sure the expiries that you choose are such that it gives you time to close your positions in profit even if the trend is not in your favor for a couple of days. So buying expiry of around 2 weeks or more would be suitable if you are taking any long position. For puts, it's not the um, suitable time to buy puts, although the trend is downward because it is at mid Bollinger Band. Although we are looking at Facebook now, and since we saw indexes as well, although the trend is downward, and for those who are taking options for option trades for just 1 to 2 days hold, they could make some money on puts, but in a longer holds, it would be better to look at the long positions if you are buying calls, or you could sell puts um, if your account allows selling as well. Okay, so we are at 11:55. Any questions apart from what we had discussed up to now? Hitesh, Utkarsh, Mayuresh. Vishal, any question from you?
So Vishal is my friend. He has just joined the first class. So
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Utkarsh, any other index that or stock that you would like to be analyzed? We have 5 minutes before we switch to our orientation session. Utkarsh, Hitesh, Nitya. Welcome, Mayuresh. Good to know that it was helpful.
Can we just quickly do RICO, RECO?
Oh, sorry. I also recall about Mara is done, is remaining. So let's take Rico and then we'll go to Mara in last 4 minutes. Rico, is it on TSXV?
Yes, yes.
No, okay, that is it.
Yeah.
Rico, let's see from weekly chart. Weekly chart is touching lower Bollinger Band and is downtrend. So wait for around, just watch this week for it to see if it takes support at 560.
Okay.
Lower Bollinger Band here is at 556, right? So 5.56 could be a good entry, but uh, watch for these indicators to turn and then you enter.
Okay.
Okay. Since it is in narrow band, once it reverses, then it is sure that it could touch at least the upper Bollinger Band, which would give you about a $1 profit. But since it is close to lower Bollinger Band, risk of it dropping further down also is still there. Although this looks to be a very strong support.
Yeah.
where from where it has reversed. So just watch this week and you can plan to enter if it reverses from here.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Let's in last 3 minutes, let's take Mara as well, since you had requested that. And Mara is on downtrend. Lower Bollinger Band is at 21, which has been strong support previously as well, from where it has reversed, although here it low was 1951, 1940. On weekly chart, yes, this 200 EMA has been strong support for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this time almost 8 weeks it has been a strong support. But because this is coming third time, and this time the volume seems supporting the downtrend, this support it could break. Okay, so
Okay.
when it touches 21 in the next session, if it reverses and forms doji, better not to enter. Wait for one more day and see that it forms a green candle on second confirmation day, then you enter. Because
Okay.
coming third time, so this support it might break, although it's a strong support.
Yeah.
Closely,
Because even a Renko indicates that it's going to be a downtrend for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
watch it and wait for 2 confirmation days before you enter.
Okay.
Okay, great. So with that, I'll just stop sharing here, and thank you all for joining for this analysis session. Now we will be moving on to the orientation for our courses that are coming up, the advanced course and also the analysis course which we take. So for those who had joined for this analysis session, thank you all. I'll just